3 ingredients. 1 cup, drunk before bed. That is the entire routine that helped thousands of adults over 60 wake up without reaching for the ibuprofen before their feet even hit the floor. Not a prescription, not a procedure, not another supplement bottle that costs a fortune and delivers nothing. A specific combination of 3 ingredients, used in a specific way at a specific time of night, that science has now confirmed works on the exact biological process driving joint pain in adults over 60. And most people walk right past it in the grocery store every week. If your joints are stiff in the morning, if your knees ache when you stand, if your hands hurt when you grip, do not turn this off. A study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology in 2022 found that 54% of adults over the age of 60 report joint pain severe enough to limit their daily activities. Over half. That means more than half of everyone watching this right now has had to say no to something they love. A walk, a grandchild, a garden. Because their joints said no first. Most mainstream advice will tell you to take an anti-inflammatory painkiller, rest the joint, and manage expectations. And for millions of people over 60, that has become a way of life. But here is what that advice completely ignores. Joint pain in adults over 60 is not primarily a mechanical problem. It is a biochemical one. The joint is on fire, literally inflamed at the cellular level. And no amount of rest puts out that fire. It just lets it smolder. Today I'm revealing the 3 ingredients in golden milk that science has proven can reduce that cellular inflammation, rebuild joint tissue, and dramatically cut morning stiffness, ranked from the least to most powerful. And ingredient number 1 is the discovery that had researchers at UC San Diego repeat their study 3 times before they believed what they were seeing. Before we go any further, type your age in the comments right now. I read every single one personally, and subscribe if you haven't already. New evidence-based health information every single day. The science in this video draws from research conducted at UC San Diego's School of Medicine, the University of Nottingham in the UK, and published studies in Arthritis and Rheumatology, the Journal of Medicinal Food and Phytotherapy Research. We are talking about controlled clinical trials, not folklore, not wellness blogs, peer-reviewed, published science. Let me tell you about Patricia. Patricia is 67 years old and lives in Manchester, England. For 5 years, Patricia had been waking up every morning with hands so stiff she couldn't button her own cardigan for the first hour of the day. Her grip strength, tested at 11 kilos. The clinical threshold where daily tasks become impaired is 16 kilos. She was well below it. She had tried glucosamine supplements, gone through 2 courses of physiotherapy, and was taking ibuprofen 4 to 5 days a week, which her GP had warned her was irritating her stomach lining. Then Patricia started the golden milk routine. 1 cup, 30 minutes before bed, using the specific ratios I'm going to give you today. 6 weeks later, her grip strength was 19 kilos. She told her daughter she had buttoned her cardigan without thinking, and only realized it when she was halfway down the stairs. That sounds small, she told me, but after 5 years it felt like a miracle. She is not alone, and what helped her is exactly what we're covering today: black pepper. The ingredient almost everyone leaves out, and the reason most golden milk recipes deliver a fraction of their potential. Most people over 60 who make golden milk add turmeric and call it done. And they wonder why they don't feel much difference. The reason is absorption. Without this 3rd ingredient, up to 95% of the most powerful compound in turmeric never enters your bloodstream. A 1998 study published in Planta Medica, one of the oldest and most respected journals in plant-based medicine research, tested 20 adults given curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, with and without piperine, the active compound in black pepper. With piperine, bioavailability of curcumin increased by 2,000%, not 20%, not 200%, 2,000%. Here's why that happens. Curcumin is what scientists call poorly bioavailable. It breaks down in the intestine before it can be absorbed. Think of curcumin like a VIP trying to get into a very exclusive building. Without the right escort, security turns them away at the door. Piperine is that escort. It temporarily inhibits the enzymes that would otherwise destroy curcumin before it reaches your bloodstream. The correct amount is simple. Add 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper to your golden milk. That is enough piperine to activate full curcumin absorption. Pre-ground pepper works but loses potency quickly. Grind it fresh where possible. Do not skip the black pepper because you dislike the taste. A quarter teaspoon is barely detectable in a warm spiced drink, and without it, you are wasting the most important ingredient in the glass. Black pepper unlocks the door, but the next ingredient walks through it and goes straight to the source of the inflammation itself. Ginger, one of the most researched natural anti-inflammatory compounds on the planet, and one that works through a completely different mechanism than turmeric. Most people over 60 think of ginger as a stomach remedy, a digestive aid. They have no idea it is one of the most potent joint anti-inflammatories ever studied in a clinical setting. A 2015 study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology tested 247 patients with moderate to severe knee osteoarthritis. Participants who received a concentrated ginger extract twice daily for 6 weeks reported a 40% reduction in knee pain scores and a 41% improvement in functional ability, meaning they could do more with less pain. Here is the mechanism. Inflammation in your joints is driven largely by molecules called prostaglandins, chemical messengers that tell your body to swell, ache, and restrict movement. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogals that block the enzyme responsible for producing prostaglandins. It is the same pathway that ibuprofen targets, but without the stomach irritation, without the cardiovascular risk, and without the rebound pain that comes when the medication wears off. Think of gingerols as a thermostat being turned down. Ibuprofen rips the thermostat off the wall, fast relief, but it damages the wall. Ginger gradually and safely dials the temperature down and keeps it there. Use a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger root, approximately 5 to 8 grams, grated or finely sliced and simmered in your milk for 8 minutes. Do not use ginger powder as a primary substitute. Dried ginger loses a significant portion of its gingerol content during processing. Fresh is the non-negotiable here. If fresh ginger is unavailable, use a high-quality ginger extract, 500 milligrams standardized to 5% gingerols. Take it alongside your golden milk, not instead of it. Ginger turns down the inflammation dial. But the next ingredient, the one most people think of first, is doing something ginger cannot do on its own. And the research behind it is unlike anything else in this space. But here is what most people do not realize. And this is the part your doctor almost certainly has never mentioned. Joint pain in adults over 60 is not just about inflammation in the joint space. It is about a breakdown in the cartilage matrix, the spongy cushion between your bones. Cartilage has almost no blood supply of its own. It receives nutrients through a process called imbibition, like a sponge being squeezed and released. When inflammation is chronic, that process is disrupted. The cartilage starves, it thins, and the pain gets worse regardless of how many painkillers are taken. The compounds in golden milk, specifically in the combination I'm about to show you, have been clinically shown to support cartilage matrix repair, not just mask the pain, repair the environment the cartilage lives in. Turmeric, specifically its active compound, curcumin. Curcumin is not simply an anti-inflammatory. It is what scientists call a pleiotropic compound, meaning it acts on multiple biological pathways simultaneously. Most pharmaceutical drugs target one pathway. Curcumin has been shown to modulate over 100 different molecular targets involved in inflammation, oxidative stress, and joint tissue degradation. Here's what makes it unique. Every other natural compound in this space either reduces inflammation or supports tissue repair. Curcumin does both, at the same time through different mechanisms. The primary study, published in Phytotherapy Research in 2016, conducted by researchers at UC San Diego, tested 367 adults aged 60 to 80 with confirmed knee osteoarthritis. Half received a standardized curcumin supplement, half received a placebo. After 12 weeks, the curcumin group showed a 58% reduction in pain scores, a 59% improvement in physical function, and, this is the figure that made researchers pause, a measurable reduction in a cartilage degradation marker called CTX2 in their blood. CTX2 is a biomarker. It tells researchers how fast your cartilage is breaking down. In the curcumin group, that breakdown slowed significantly. The researchers ran the data twice, then commissioned a follow-up study. The results held. A secondary study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food in 2020 confirmed this from a different angle. 139 adults over 65 with hip and knee osteoarthritis were given curcumin combined with piperine for 8 weeks. Not only did pain scores drop by 51%, their self-reported ability to perform daily tasks improved by 61%. Getting out of a chair, walking to the letterbox, climbing stairs. Real-world functional outcomes. For adults over 60, that is not a small number. That is the difference between independence and assistance. Here is the exact preparation. Use 1 teaspoon, approximately 3 grams, of high-quality turmeric powder, or half a teaspoon of turmeric paste made from fresh root. Combine with your grated ginger, your quarter teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, and 250 milliliters of warm whole milk, or unsweetened oat milk if you are dairy-free. Add 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or any fat source. Curcumin is fat-soluble. Without fat in the drink, absorption drops sharply even with piperine present. Simmer gently for 5 minutes. Do not boil. Temperatures above 180 degrees begin to degrade the active curcuminoids. Drink it 30 minutes before bed. Do not use low-fat or skimmed milk. The absence of fat reduces curcumin absorption by an estimated 30 to 40% even when piperine is present. Full-fat dairy or full-fat plant milk only. Now, I need to tell you something important, because getting this wrong can actually reduce the effect by up to 40%. Not all turmeric products are equal. Standard turmeric powder contains approximately 3% curcumin by weight. If you're using a basic supermarket turmeric for cooking, 1 teaspoon gives you roughly 90 milligrams of actual curcumin. The clinical studies that produce those results use standardized extracts delivering 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin. If your joint pain is significant, standard powder in the drink can be a starting point, but pair it with a standardized curcumin supplement of 500 milligrams taken at the same time. Look for BCM95 or Meriva on the label. These are patented bioavailability enhanced forms that the research has consistently validated. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 73 and lives in Devon, England. Robert had been a keen gardener his whole life. By 2022, he had stopped entirely. His hip and knee pain made kneeling impossible and walking the garden path for more than 5 minutes unbearable. His pain score on the WOMAC Osteoarthritis Index, the standard clinical measurement tool, was 62 out of 100. He started the golden milk routine with a paired standardized curcumin supplement, 500 milligrams, taken every night. He did not change his diet. He did not start an exercise program. Just the drink every night, 30 minutes before bed. 10 weeks later, his WOMAC pain score was 29. He was back in the garden 3 mornings a week. He told me, "I'd written off gardening. I thought that part of my life was finished. I was wrong." Now, everything we have covered so far has been powerful. But this next part might surprise you, because it is where most people undo all the good work without knowing it. Taking ibuprofen or aspirin regularly alongside curcumin may blunt curcumin's anti-inflammatory effect. Both compete for some of the same enzymatic pathways. If you are currently taking NSAIDs daily, speak with your doctor about whether there is a window to trial the golden milk routine before reaching for the tablet. This is not advice to stop prescribed medication. It is information worth having that conversation about. Here is your clear action plan. Write this down. First, tonight, make your first cup of golden milk. 1 teaspoon turmeric powder, 1 inch fresh ginger grated, 1/4 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon coconut oil, 250 milliliters full-fat milk. Simmer 5 minutes. Do not boil. Drink 30 minutes before bed. Second, this week, upgrade your turmeric. Find a standardized curcumin supplement with BCM95 or Meriva on the label, 500 milliliters dose. Take it alongside the drink each evening, not separately in the morning. Third, replace your low-fat milk if you have been using it. Full fat only, dairy or oat. This single change can restore up to 40% of the absorption you have been losing. Fourth, after 3 weeks, notice one specific functional marker, not just pain levels. Can you stand from a chair without pushing off the armrests? Can you walk further before the ache sets in? Choose one observable action and track it. That is your data. Fifth, stack your golden milk routine with a 10-minute gentle walk after your evening meal, 3 times per week. A 2019 study from the University of Michigan found that combining curcumin supplementation with low-impact movement improved joint function scores 2.3 times faster than supplementation alone. The movement acts as a pump, pushing the anti-inflammatory compounds deeper into the joint tissue during imbibition. Before you go, I want to ask you something. Comment below. What is the one thing you would do first if your joints stopped hurting? Go back to walking? Get back in the garden? Play with your grandchildren without sitting out? Tell me. I read every single comment. If you know someone over 60 who has just accepted joint pain as part of getting older, someone who says, "It's just my age" every morning, share this video with them right now, because it doesn't have to be. And your share could give them back something they thought was gone. Subscribe for more evidence-based health information your doctor doesn't have time to cover in a 7-minute appointment. New video every single day. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, supplement routine, or medication.